This is the Art of Network Engineering podcast. In this podcast, we'll explore tools, technologies, and talented people. We aim to bring you information that will expand your skill sets and toolbox and share the stories of fellow network engineers.
'Twas the night before Natmas, when all through the data center not a cable was stirring, not even a fiber. The servers hung with finger-murdering cage nuts with care, just so that customers will pull their data from there. The switches were configured in a spine and a leaf in hopes that Python and Ansible will give their admins some relief. The aisles so festive, some hot and some cold, keep a balance amongst the machines, or so I am told. As refresh time is here, the engineer bustles down each row to rack and to stack the newest gear, don't you know? Now data, now storage, now compute, now all. Come switches, come routers, come firewalls, let's have a ball. I awake from my slumber to hear all the clatter, to throw open the door and yell, "Hey, it's no change December, what's the matter?" We both have a laugh, and then scream down the hall, "Now route away, route away, route away all." Happy holidays from us here at the Art of Network Engineering.
Oh my God. Tim did it again. Oh, happy holidays, you guys.
Happy holidays.
How's everybody doing? Everyone enjoying their holiday season?
Somewhat.
All right, I am AJ Murray at No Blinky Blinky. That was Tim Bertino with another smashing intro at Tim Bertino. How you doing, Tim?
I'm great, AJ. I had to festively find a way to complain about cage nuts.
That you did a great job.
Yeah.
I can't be the only one that despises those things.
The number of times I have screwed up my hands on cage nuts. Mm-hmm. I'd count, but I'm like missing fingers from doing that.
How are you, AJ?
Doing well. Doing really well. I am excited to be here as always. Another fun episode in the works. Dan at Howdy Packet. How are you doing, Dan?
Howdy. I'm doing good. How you doing, AJ?
You know,
I feel like I always ask you that because you asked me, but you just answered Tim, so it's like you gotta
deja vu.
It's common courtesy. I gotta stop for a second though. I mean, hearing Dan say howdy in a Santa hat is really doing it for me.
I need Andy to be one of my elves or something like that though.
Right?
Oh man.
Well, unfortunately, Andy couldn't join us this evening for this particular episode, but he's with us in holiday spirit.
Oh, yes.
Well, let's cut to some wins for this week. And here are the wins for this week. D3 passed the CCNA. Congratulations, D3. Bill Murray passed the JNCIP Enterprise. Congratulations. Adam Smith completed the Certified Wireless Technician exam. Jerv passed the AWS Cloud Practitioner. Congratulations. And KD9CPB passed the General Class Amateur Radio License exam. Congrats. Semper Descends completed the Network Plus exam. And Adil Khan passed the AZ-104. Congratulations, Adil. Error Disabled also passed the AWS CCP. Congratulations. Robin C. got an award on a recently submitted English paper from college. Congratulations, Robin. And Ethan was nominated for the WOW Award where he works. Congratulations, Ethan. Dusty completed the Test Out Network Pro Cert exam, and Mike V2 passed the AZ-107. Lots of winning in the Discord channel this week. No new Patreons join the program, but if you're interested in joining the Patreon program, you can go to patreon.com/artofneteng, and you can join us every time we record an episode. We stream it live to our Patreon group, and we have a great time chatting, and they can ask questions live, and we can answer them live. It's a good time. Check it out. Thank you to all of our listeners, and from everybody here at Art of Network Engineering, we hope you have a wonderful and safe holiday season. Now back to the show. All right. every holiday season, you take some time to reflect on what's going on this past year. And I think that we have a lot to reflect on and be thankful for. This has been an absolutely incredible year for us, I would say, individually and as a podcast. And, some incredibly notable things have happened for us this year. And as well as for people in our community. So I want to kick it over to Tim and see what sticks out for you.
Well, I'm here now, and that happened this year.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We gained Tim.
This has been this year's just been crazy. I think it's helping us all, and we've talked about it before, kind of get through what these last couple years, year and a half has been just, socially for all of us. It's been great for all of us to get together, both on here and to interact with the community. I love that we have this community interaction on the show directly now with our Patreon members. So that's awesome. One thing that I'm thankful for, it's a holiday episode, right? We can include Thanksgiving in this. I am. I've said it before, I'm a very awkward dude. And one thing that I'm very thankful for about this show in general, is that it's kind of helped me with, for lack of a better term, public speaking. It's helped me kind of start getting better at thinking on my feet and stop the ums and the blank stares that I give people sometimes when they ask me questions.
The Tim in the headlights
I'm
look?
Really thankful for that.
The Tim
What's
in
that?
the headlights look?
Yeah, that's it. I'll go put my my Bob Ross wig on for that. But no, this has just been an incredible experience. I can't thank you guys enough again for bringing me on here and making me part of this, and the interaction that we get from folks, and to see that, we seem to be doing a little bit of good, giving back to the community and giving people a platform to discuss and learn and grow. I mean, we've had people getting help with certification exams. We've had people helping each other get employment. I mean, that's just nuts to me. So this has been fun. This has been a rewarding experience, and I hope we don't slow down.
Yeah, I agree. Tim, I want to go back and I want to explore your coming into the fold a little bit, because I know that we've talked about it like off mic, but I want to actually like draw it out here. So when you came on, you had some intent there when you came on the episode, and you blew us all away, right? Because you came in, and normally we just interview whoever our guest is for that night, but you flipped the script on us that night, and you asked us questions. And ever since that episode, that just kind of got us thinking. So good. Let's go back to that. And like, what was in your head there?
I won't lie at all. I treated that episode as an interview. I wanted to be a part of this thing one way or another. I was doing, the writing of the Faces of the Journey, and that was going really well, but I had a lot of fun on that episode. I prepped for that. I wanted to keep coming back, and glad that it turned out that way. But yeah, I went full send on that. I really wanted to treat that as an interview, and in my script to you guys that I wanted to be a part of this.
Well,
I guess like when you first told us that, it was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, but it worked, right? Because there was a bunch of stuff, that followed that, and we looked for opportunities to like bring you back and have you back on the show. And I think it happened in kind of quick succession. And it got to a point where just like the enthusiasm and energy that you bring, it was a no-brainer for us to pull you into this. And so we did. We talked to you, and I think that you were a little coy about it at first, maybe. Well, I don't know if I want to take it on, it's a big responsibility, or there might be a lot of work to it, but so happy.
Well, and selfishly, flipping the script like that on the episode also prevented me from having to keep talking about myself. We all know I'm a big fan of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it worked, and here you are. And I think that you've brought so many cool things to the show. You know, the intros for one, they're amazing, and we're working on curating all of those in their own little feed on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch all of Tim's intros since the very first one, and they're masterpieces. And now we're getting ideas from members of our community, and you've been working those in as well, and it's so much fun.
I do want to spin on that a little bit too. I kind of treat the intros as kind of my contribution, but it is such a tiny contribution compared to what the rest of you guys do. I mean, Dan and Andy and AJ has too, take on a bulk of the editing and do all that. And that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And that's something that they let me stay away from, which I think is partly because they know my level of incompetence in that area. But that's another thing I'm thankful for, is this wouldn't happen without you guys putting that level of effort into it. It's not just we record this thing on this platform and auto send it at Wednesday at 5:00 in the morning. It doesn't happen like that. There's a lot of things that need to be done and that go into it. And I will be completely truthful. I have no hand in any of that. So that's all on the other guys. And thank you all for that.
It's a team effort. There's
Yes.
a lot more that goes into doing this thing. You know, we have the podcast, but we got a YouTube channel. There's all of the social media. We got this brand, and it takes a village. And we all have our own pieces to that, and it's working extremely well. I love what we've got going on, and yeah, couldn't do it alone. And
Well-
I love the skills that we have too. I love Dan's
yeah.
video editing. It's fire.
No, but also the village is kind of growing, right? You know, we've got people helping us, like give a shout out, Jordan helping with, show ideas and intro ideas and stuff like that. And then we also have Chris working with us on for the meetup next year, right? Which, who's not pumped about that? But
Right.
so we have people in the community that are still helping us with other things that might not be in the forefront, but they're definitely there. So just want to give a little shout out to
absolutely. Absolutely. The family's growing.
Yeah, and I think perspective is a lot of it too. Between the four of us and all the folks in the community, I mean, everybody's got a different story to tell and a different set of eyes to put on a bunch of different topics. And it's so awesome to get all the different ideas versus us just having the same point of view and thinking the same things all the time. I think that's a big part of this as well.
So, I just want to go back to the community piece for a little bit, because the community has grown exponentially this year. When I last looked, I think we're at close to 1,600 members in our Discord server, and they're barely active, right? Like this is not, a bunch of people that joined once and then never came back.
I can't keep up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll look at the general chat, that channel a couple times a day, maybe, and there's just tons of messages. I love the amount of conversation that's going on there. The communication can be about anything, and we've got the separate channels that people are really good about keeping on topic there. But just the different kinds of things in that general channel is really cool to see how people interact in there.
Right. My favorite channel has to be the wins.
Yeah. So one thing too is I've noticed that we've got a steady like CCNA study group every, what is it? Is it Thursdays?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Taylor set something up the other day, and there's two people that are doing like weekly CCNA study groups in there. And so that's just crazy. Like, we started this thing, however long ago, and now it's just the community's kind of taken over, like I don't really do much in there anymore when it comes to like setting things up and trying to do all that. Like Taylor handles most of like the Discord stuff. So it's just crazy.
That server squared away.
Yeah, exactly. It's just crazy how much the community has jumped in to help with this stuff. And that's just awesome.
Yeah, it's nice that, because of the growth, we've been able to do some new things with the Discord server. So, for example, we just hit a milestone where now we can be discoverable, right? Like Taylor wrote a little blob about our Discord server, why we're here, what we do, welcoming people in, and now you can go into Discord if you're searching for, IT certifications or networking or something like that. Our server is going to pop up in the feed, and this is going to just help get more people in here, because as we say, it is all about the journey, and the more people we have in here, the better the journey gets.
Yep. Exactly.
So if you're a listener of the podcast and you haven't joined the Discord yet, now's a good time. You can go to artofneteng.com/IAATJ for It's All About the Journey. And you can sign up and you can join the Discord right then and there and say hello. We've got a bunch of different channels. You introduce yourself in general. You can drop the wins and winning. And if you're a fan of the podcast, you can go to A1 Fans and let us know. We actually just had somebody do that earlier today, which was great to see. Somebody found the podcast, binged it on a drive, and then hopped in and let us know how much they're having fun listening to the show. We appreciate that very much.
So AJ, you were getting ready to tell us about your favorite channel.
My favorite channel is the winning channel. I love it because it's not just about certifications and everything else. Like, people share some pretty, personal stuff in there. Like, I'm getting married, or, just found out my wife is pregnant. We're having a child, and lots of other stuff has gotten posted in there, and it's so great to see. And I think it brings us all closer together. And I think just as equally too is the failure plaques. Like, when everyone shares like, oh, hey, I failed today. It's like, oh, wow. Like, you're human.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's nice, as much as it is nice to see and hold each other up. Like, the support that goes on when somebody announces a fail, and just like, oh yeah, no sweat it. You're like, you'll get it next time. And it's just, it's really awesome.
Yeah. And again, on the different perspectives, I'm obviously following the Encore channel, and there will be questions in there, and the answers that we get from the different kinds of people that are in there, like Tim Mack, like Jeff Kish, a CBT Nuggets trainer, that people will ask questions, and you have a CBT Nuggets trainer in this Discord that's helping people, answering their questions about this exam. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, we have quite a few CB2 Nuggets trainers in here, and they jump in all the time. And yeah, it's awesome. Like, especially like, you're watching the content, and then you come in here and ask a follow up question, and then you don't expect it, but then Jeff jumps in and answers a question. It's like,
yeah, the guy that just did the video is answering your question. Yeah,
that's crazy.
And I love that those guys, those instructors, like they joined. And then they stayed, right? Like when we were interviewing them, when we were talking to them, like they found out about the Discord channel, but they're here. They're like permanent fixtures. They participate very actively, and it's such a pleasure and honor to have them to participate in this thing. But I would say that the next exciting thing for me is seeing the growth of the show. Like when we started this thing, we were hoping that people would like it. And, I don't want to make this whole episode tooting about us. And I know we're not going to do that, but I just, and this isn't necessarily about us, because it's, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for the followers and the people who listen. But, we hit a bunch of major milestones this year as far as downloads go and the popularity of the show. We hit 100,000 downloads in less than a year, which was crazy. Never saw that coming. We hit 150,000 downloads last month, and then we hit 175,000 downloads right after that. And by the time this episode releases, who knows, we might be at, 200,000 downloads. But as of the day that we record this, we're at 181,000 downloads. It's absolutely incredible. That just the speed that we seem to be going up. Yeah.
And then also, supporters of the show with Patreon. We launched the Patreon this year, and we I was blown away about how many patrons we actually gained, up to this point, and just the support, like I think the major thing that a Patreon gets extra is getting to actually join us live during these shows. Like we're looking at the chat right now, we have Patreons in here chatting, and it's kind of cool because they're talking about what they like about it, and how thankful they are and stuff like that. But what's nice is they're supporting us, right? Because there's obviously overhead with all of this. I mean, nothing's free, right? And so they're helping us support this, and they don't expect anything. That's the crazy thing, right? Like they just generally want to support us, and or genuinely. There we go. I'll get that word in there. Uh, and it's just crazy. So that's a big milestone in my opinion.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Like it's not like a ton of money to do what we're doing, but to have a little bit of money coming in and to be able to take care of those funds, and then to have money additional to be able to fund giveaways, right? Like with the money that we've gotten from the Patreon program, we've been able to buy books and give books away, and help pay to like ship other things around to make sure that people have what they need to be able to continue on in their journeys.
Yeah.
I want to add on to that. That was one of my favorite things from this year is when we got to do the number of giveaways with Open Gear, with the AONE branded backpacks, and just seeing the outpouring when people receive those. That had to have been one of my favorite moments of this year.
Yeah, with what, and that was was it Jason Gooley's book in there?
Yeah, Jason donated a number of books to that giveaway, and I think we stuffed every bag with at least one. I think some people got more than one in the bag, but yeah, because it was like I think he shipped over like 20 books, and we had 11 or 12 backpacks to give away, and yeah, it was
freaking
cool.
Awesome. I'm a little jealous.
Those bags look pretty nice.
Yeah, I know they're a little small, but they still look pretty nice, and they had our logo on it, so that was pretty cool.
Right.
We'll have to get one of those one of these days.
And books is another theme of the year. I mean, we interviewed 3 authors throughout the year of like real actual books. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Roddy Hassan, he did he give you 3 books or something like that, AJ, to give away?
Yeah, he gave me 3 or 4 books to give away. Yep.
So, I mean, big shout out to Roddy for that, and that was a blast having him on here. And hopefully by the time this episode airs, we'll have a special YouTube video that has came out. Roddy,
we did.
Sorry if it hasn't yet.
Roddy did a great walkthrough demo of DNA Center and some network automation, and we did a whole interview. Dan and I were working with him and firing questions at him throughout the entire process, and he did a fantastic job. And Dan's working on that edit, and we'll get it out just as soon as we possibly can. But that's going to be a great video to have out there.
Yeah, and that actually, we can, piggyback off that. Some of our goals is we want to do some more YouTube videos, right? We want to get into some more technical content and that kind of thing as well, doing demos and being able to ask questions in those demos kind of thing. That's definitely something that's like, in our books that we want to get to, goals and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So in addition to the Open Gear sponsorship, we've also signed another sponsor from NetAlly. NetAlly is going to be doing a number of things. Already you can go to our website, artofnetworkengineering.com, and you can see the NetAlly banner right up there at the top. If you're feeling spicy, give it a click and click on through. We've also got some other stuff that NetAlly wants to do with us. We're going to do some YouTube videos with them, kind of show off their products, and you can also look forward to hearing some brief ads by us for NetAlly in the show. So thank you very much to Open Gear and NetAlly for your support of what we do here. We appreciate it very much.
And that's crazy, right? Like who would have thought we'd have sponsors? When we started this thing. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where you're like, yeah, hopefully we'll get sponsors one day, and then here we are, 2 sponsors
Actually
deep.
getting sponsors.
Yeah. So it's just, I just love that, there's a lot of love for this community, because these sponsors, both sponsors have basically told us that they want to help the community, right? They want to do the giveaways and that kind of thing to help the community, and that's awesome in my opinion.
It all helps the podcast and the community grow, and selfishly I want to keep seeing that grow, because come next June, the bigger this show and community is, the more people we can meet at Cisco Live in Las Vegas, or in the Asheville, North Carolina meetup as well. That's just going to make it that much better. So yeah, let's just keep growing.
Yeah, Tim, since you brought it up, let's talk about that for a little bit. And it'll be a very little bit because we don't have a ton of details on it right now. But hopefully by the time this comes out, we'll have some more. We are planning our very first ever meetup of both, the podcast, if you're a listener to the podcast, or if you're a member of our Discord community. We seem to have a lot of members centered in and around the Asheville, North Carolina area. So that kind of makes sense for us to target the first one. And it sounds like other interested people could get to Asheville pretty easily one way or another. So we are looking at right now, tentatively, sometime within the first 2 weeks of April. Chris is actively looking for a place to host this. We've got a bunch of options on the table. We are going to solicit some sponsors to help cover the funds of this. And then, maybe they'll come in and give some presentations, sponsor some swag, who knows? But we want to make sure, we get out there and meet as many people as we can. And we would love to get the 4 of us together in the same room all at once. Like Dan and Tim have graciously come to Vermont earlier this year, and it looks like Andy and I might get together. I might go down and see him in Philadelphia, but it would be great to have the 4 of us in the room at the same time. And some crazy shit's gonna happen.
Thinking about that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, and see, that's actually another thing this year. Me personally, getting to meet AJ in person and just hang out with him, over a couple of days, right? That right there is it's crazy, right? Because I met him online. My first thing ever was seeing him post about ACI stuff on Instagram, right? And I was like, dude, I like this guy's stuff, and then we started this whole like study group thing, and we were going through that, and then he was like, you know what? Hey, let's have a podcast. Y'all want to have a podcast? And we agreed to it. And then the next thing I know, I'm freaking driving up to Vermont and meeting this guy. And that was just so awesome.
That's like a 17-hour drive, isn't it?
It's
that was no small feat. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I was the same way, Dan. I was getting on this plane like, I hope this dude don't catfish me, man.
Right?
This dude better be real.
He was definitely pretty in person, so it was no catfish. But
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, hanging out with AJ and his family was incredible. But man, that pizza!
Oh yeah!
Oh my god! That pizza and that beer.
Zero Gravity, is that the one you're talking about? Or wait, no.
We went to Pizza 44, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was incredible. It's just one of those things I can't even fathom. Like, to your point, Dan, it's like I told AJ I had to think hard about the last time I got on an airplane. And here I am going out to Vermont to see this dude that I hope is real. But even if he wasn't, Vermont's a beautiful place. I could have stayed anywhere.
Yeah.
But, it's incredible. And I want to call this out in the chat here from Charles, talking about the selfless acts of the community. That's something also that we don't always talk about, even in the Discord. We get hit up fairly often from community members that just want to give away stuff. They want to give away gear. They want to give away books, all that kind of thing. And that's really neat to see that people are always willing to give back. I mean, you think about why we're here, right? We're here for the main purpose of everybody does a similar job, right? And it's on the surface, it can be thought of as being really competitive. Like, why do I want to help people that are potentially trying to get the same job as me? But it is completely the opposite. And that's so cool to see that everybody's willing to help out. They're willing to take time out of their day. They're willing to give stuff away to just help each other and help this thing grow.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you happen to be somebody willing to do that, hit us up, please. We would like to facilitate additional giveaways. But yeah, it's incredible to see everything that has happened and continues to happen in this community. And I think one of the things we've seen recently are people helping each other like get jobs in various ways, right? Like, coaching people on resumes, just, the review of the resume, or doing some mock interviews, even to the point of like actually recommending other people, for jobs, because of Taylor and the community, he helped to hire somebody over at Red River. And then, I know that there's been a couple of folks recently that have gotten jobs at CDW through their associate consultant program. And there's tons of just super cool stuff going on out there. And it's like I've said it before, and I'll just continue to say it, right? Because it's the unintended consequences of pulling this community together, right? Like, we were just starting a Discord, and that was about all the intent we had. We never intended this stuff to happen. We didn't think that it was a possibility, and people just come together, and all this wonderful stuff really happens. And I think that's just more fuel for the fire to continue to keep this thing going and continue to do what we do.
And now you have people that were chefs a year ago and now cloud engineers.
Yeah.
So it's just nuts.
And that's the thing, right? Like, that we've interviewed a lot of these people that, are basically career hopping, right? They're completely doing shifts in their careers. Was it Bo? He was an audio engineer, right?
Yeah.
And then going into networking. And it's just like, that just blows my mind that we're getting people on here that are like everyday people, right? That are doing this job. And we can hear their stories of how they even got into this whole thing. And it's just so relatable, right? And so it's just awesome getting to hear these stories from these people and being a part of it. It's just my little Santa hat, Oh, and then one other thing that I nearly forgot. I got to meet a fan in person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, Chris wasn't a serial killer, so that's good. But it was cool because like we met at his hotel. That sounds bad. I shot a wedding up there, and we met in the lobby of his hotel. Where
the story took a turn.
They had a a nice little bar there and whatnot, and we talked for several hours. Just going over how our experiences are with our current jobs and stuff like that. And it was a real conversation, right? Like, it wasn't just a, hey, how are you? Ha ha ha. Like, we had real conversations. So it was awesome. I consider him a friend now, so.
Yeah, that was so cool. I had some FOMO when I saw you guys posting pictures talking about your get together. It's like, oh, I want to meet Chris and I want to hang out with Dan. Like, why can't I be there? I'm really looking forward to the first meetup. I know it's going to happen. Yeah, and just to meet everybody that we've been talking to within the community, and then to have the four of us. Hopefully, the four of us can all be there at the same time. But it's going to be so much fun. And
I can't wait.
Hey, AONE fans, AJ here for NetAlly. Never heard of NetAlly? Sure you have. They came from the same group of engineers that brought us network tools from Fluke Networks, NetScout, and now they're NetAlly. They know networking. I'm a network engineer for a partner, and when I go to customers and see they use NetAlly, I know it's going to be so much easier to troubleshoot issues we might run into. The name may have changed to NetAlly, but the way they build tools hasn't changed a bit. They ask, what would a network engineer want to help make their job faster and easier, and then they go build it, just like this Etherscope NXG. NetAlly is here to help. NetAlly, simplicity, visibility, collaboration. Visit netally.com today. Now back to the show. To go back, like we have interviewed some really just outstanding people. You mentioned Bo, some other people that come to mind, Chris Randall, just last week's episode, absolutely incredible. The amount of like fire that guy has, like he just like sets his eyes on a goal and just goes for it and shreds.
Yeah. And then John, that was an awesome episode. That dude is so full of energy.
Yeah,
I just want to
John
give him a hug.
Capibanco.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I
a
didn't
good
want to say
point,
his last
Dan.
name. I was going to butcher it. So I was going to let you say it.
When I jumped on the podcast that night, you guys were already there, and John was too. In John's, I had never met John, had interactions with him on Twitter and that kind of thing. Never met John. His face lit up when I jumped on the call, and he greeted me like he hadn't seen, like we were best friends and he hadn't seen me in 10 years. That was the coolest thing. And then I got to see it again because Andy jumped on after me and he did the same exact thing. It was just so cool. He's got just an awesome personality and he's just willing to help and he's just so excited about what he gets into. I think that's what we all strive to do, is just to find that passion and just to have it keep growing.
Yeah.
That infectious excitement was just, it was crazy.
Great word for it.
Yeah. Sorry, trying to keep up with the chat at the same time.
Yeah.
I love that we're getting more females from the community in on the podcast. We've met some amazing females, and I don't want to overlook that one bit. We've had the opportunity to talk to Yvonne Sharp, Track Pacer, Lexi, and Lily Clark. Just
Tanea.
Incredible. Yeah. Tanea. So much fun to talk to all of these women and hear about their journeys throughout their career. One of the things that really stuck out for me with Lexi was, she wasn't in a network engineering career. She was in another career, and she, was not having a great time, right? She was working in a law office, and things weren't going well. It was kind of depressing. And she kind of like marked a date on the calendar and said, if things still suck, when I get to this point, it's time to get out. And I'm going to take that one with me. And if I ever find myself back in that kind of situation, I'm going to mark a date on the calendar and, have that decision point.
Yeah. And then you got like Tanea and that
Tanea. Oh
that
my gosh.
Is a boss, man.
You got 5 seconds.
Yeah. Working 2 jobs though. Like
working 2 jobs, and she's a mom, and just absolutely incredible the amount of stuff that she tackles.
Yeah.
And incredibly kind. I mean, she's not, with all that she does, she could easily be arrogant and standoffish, and she's the complete opposite of that. I don't know. I cannot fathom how she does everything that she does with a smile on her face.
Yeah. I don't get it. Like she blows me away, man. So, but yeah, awesome Women, and there might be a secret project going on.
And I want to add on to that too, because I think that's been a theme this year, and I hope continues, and not just this year. And I'm not saying it just started happening now, but it needs to be something that continues, is the theme of inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think we can all agree that IT over the years has been typically thought of as a male dominated field. And we all need to do better at that inclusion, at inviting people in. And I think this community is helping that. And, when you first think of that, it's like, well, why can't people just do this on their own? Well, people don't necessarily know that this kind of thing is out there, that this opportunity is out there. So I think it's up to us and people that are in it and that are passionate about it to share that passion and show that anybody can do this. We've had countless guests on here that went from something completely different and pivoted. It doesn't matter who you are. The support system's there. You have the desire, you have the will, you can do this. And I want to keep pushing that the inclusion, we can all do this together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that one of the things about what we do here is this isn't just our platform. This is everybody's platform. That, you know, I think that we've kind of made it clear that we don't just want to talk to, you know, notable people in our kind of sphere of network engineering. Like, we want to talk to like the people that are on the front lines doing the work, the everyday network engineers, right? You know, we've talked to people that are CCIEs and CCDs, but we've talked to people that don't even have their CCNA yet, and they're not even working in IT yet, and they're you know, and they're trying to break in, and you know, so we've talked to a wide array of people at various points in their career, and we're going to continue to do that.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think it's so cool when we do episodes of people who work in the help desk, but they're eager to get into the network engineering team. And to me, that is just so cool because it's one of those things like, I don't know if you've worked with people like that before, but when you have, it makes your job so much more fun because they want to, they want to pick your brain about something. And it's like, oh, well, let me show you how an Ether channel works, you know, and it's like, you know, just stuff like that. It's so much more enjoyable to work around people like that. And I think those are the people that make this community what it is, kind of thing. You know, we definitely have our legends in the community that are, you know, top tier, and also to give them a little bit of a shout out too. It's awesome when we have people like Tim on here, McConaughey, who are willing to just share their knowledge and their time, you know, jump on at last minute to help this community. Like, so when you got it from both ends, it's just awesome. I can't thank them enough for the people who are wanting to get into network engineering. I can't thank them enough for coming on here, because to me, I'd be scared to death jumping into a show like this. You know, not, I guess, knowing all of it just yet, but I mean, I still don't, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but for them to come on here and share their story, right? Like where they're at, where they want to be, that kind of thing. Right. And then also for the people who we say the top tier or whatever, for coming on here and sharing their knowledge, sharing, you know, what they've learned over their journey through all of this. So just big thanks to both sides of that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. Like the amount of people that I think have gotten, you know, wind of the platform and everything that we do. You know, we don't quite, but we have had several people kind of knock down the door, like, well, how do I get on the show?
Yeah. We'll get to you.
Yeah. Now that we're at a point where we're planning a little bit further ahead, it helps.
Yes.
But to circle back to the inclusion thing, I think that's some advice that I'd like to echo that I've learned is, for one thing, me as a person, I always try to look for win-win scenarios, because it's great to help people, but you know, you also need to take care of yourself as well. So one of those being somebody that is trying to break in, trying to learn, especially if it's somebody within your organization. Take those people in. Don't see them as a threat, because not only are you helping somebody else, but you're also working on skills yourself. I mean, as I've tried to branch out and get more self-confident in myself and learning things, a great way to do that is to try to teach others. And what better than somebody who's coming up? And also, if they are on your team or they're trying to get onto your team is the key concept there. One thing that I've learned is no matter how much you may try, you can't do everything on your own. And if you train people your way and teach them things, they're now an ally for you, not a threat, an ally. And they'll help you, and you're all there for a common goal, right? To make the organization better. So just help. It doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be a scheduled meeting with somebody once a week. It's just, they have questions, listen, answer them, ask them if they have questions, because we always talk about the imposter syndrome. And if we don't know something, we don't always want people to know that we don't know something. So don't just wait for questions. Ask if people need help. if they understand something, just be cool.
Be cool, man.
I think
But
that's kind of
I
been
kind of
go ahead.
go
Dan.
ahead, AJ.
No, you.
I'll pick Dan. Go.
Okay. But I would also kind of challenge yourself to go a little bit above and beyond to help some of those people who are more eager, because I think you'll get more returns out of it. Like if you go out of your way to make sure that you teach a concept or maybe teach your environment to them, I like kind of like what you're saying, Tim. It's only going to be a win-win, really, because if they're eager to learn it and you're showing them all this extra stuff, like that's just more, that's going to help them more be a better engineer on your team, like you were saying. So go a little bit above and beyond.
Yeah, I think that's a theme that we've seen, since the beginning of this, right? Like, make your intentions known, put yourself out there. Tim posts about it a lot. Learn in public. Like, if you have someone new starting or you're working on a team, like, make it known that you're willing to help and show other people anything that they're interested in. And then if there's something that you don't understand, make it known, like, hey, I don't know about this, but I want to learn about it. I'm eager to learn about it. If you make your intentions clear and people know about it, you can't assume that anybody knows or doesn't know anything, right? Like, you gotta put it out there, just like we do with putting out in the podcast and posting on blogs. Like, I do the same thing in person. If I know something or I'm willing to share my knowledge, I'll let them know, like, hey, if you have questions about this, I'm happy to answer those. And I'll drop my questions in the chat and say, hey, can someone help me with whatever? And it having those clear lines of communications really helps. And again, I just want to echo that we continue to see that in the community and in our Discord. And I just want to thank everybody that is so transparent and is willing to help out, because that's what makes this community what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seeing people put themselves out there and seeing the returns that they get on that. I mean, when we talked to Chris recently, that's one of the things he said. I mean, he was essentially getting job interviews because of how he carried himself and the things he posted on Twitter. I mean, what year is this? I mean, you just
hold on. I needed to go to Twitter better. I need to do Twitter. Need to be a better tweeter.
Is it linked Twitter or Twitter in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it just goes back to that. I mean, we're living in an age of so many different platforms that can be used for good things and bad things. But if there's opportunities out there, I mean, it was hard for me to put myself out there to start a blog and write, because who's going to want to read the crap that I have to write? But it ends up affording you some opportunities in the long run. So I'm not saying everybody go out there, get a blog, do this, do that, but just trying to highlight some of the things that are out there that can get you some opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. Just put yourself out there. I just want to echo. Charles Hayes in the chat said, "You make yourself indispensable by making yourself dispensable." Yeah, exactly. Share that knowledge. A lot of people hoard it to themselves, thinking that that's going to keep them hired in their position. But no, share
Job
that
security.
knowledge, get it out there. Jobs, yeah, right. I think, or I hope that that's an old way of thinking. I hope that people realize that that's not the way to approach that stuff anymore.
Well, and back to the win-win too. If you go out of your way to take time to help people within your organization, that word is going to get around. I mean, that's going to get back to your boss, your boss's boss, that hey, this person who's been here a while is helping me out, and they're really taking the time to teach me things and plan things for me to do and ask if I need help. That's, people aren't going to keep that to themselves. So again, you don't have to think of it as being selfish, but if you're looking out for yourself and helping others, everybody wins.
Yep.
Yeah, beautifully said. I agree.
Put a stamp on that.
What else? What else are some of your favorite moments from this year, or what are you guys looking forward to next year?
I gotta say, one of my favorite moments is meeting Tim Ross. That was definitely high on my list there.
I'm glad that was Tom Hollingsworth's episode because I'm
Yeah.
sure he was like, "What in the hell did I get into?"
His face when you started talking about distribution switches, he was just
Yeah.
like, I'll never forget that. That was perfect.
I would. I'd like to bring up Dan in the Hall of Chainsaws. That was a good one.
Oh my god.
Dan
was
at the
dark.
woodshed. That was a good moment.
The frog, yeah.
That was.
Chris,
I have not laughed that hard, and I think I'm glad we segued into this because I think the small moments that I've gotten to experience this last year, just with this, over the internet, essentially. Dan, when I would look at Andy, something funny that I would hear, and I have a hard time containing myself, and then I look up, and I know Andy heard it too because he's giving me that look, and I just break down. Those have not laughed that hard at things in a long time, and that just makes this right. It's so much fun to be able to mesh.
Tigger bits.
You know what killed me most about that night in Dan in the Shed was that was our very first night streaming to an audience.
It was
of people.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, that was our first.
It was our very first time
right?
we decided to try that out to try out that whole capability, and we had a whole chat room full of people hanging out watching the show, and I think it was like a 10-minute tangent, and I go back and you watch the video. It's just Dan walking back and forth. He'd walk to one side, you hear the big metal door scraping across the concrete floor. He'd walk back to the other way, and oh my gosh!
And then I lose my signal.
That was the best part. He says, "Hang on, I'm gonna go shut this door." And as soon as that door shuts, his stream just goes, just completely.
Yeah,
that tin door, tin roof, just completely cut his LTE out from under it.
Yeah. I cut the branch I was standing on,
I think that particular blooper is like a dedicated video all of its own. So you don't have to go back and watch the whole episode. You can just go right to the blooper reel and see that masterpiece that was that night.
And that's another thing too, is this whole show, we've tried to keep it professional, right? But we have our days.
We have?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I missed that email.
But like there's been days we've missed our self-inflicted deadlines, right, or whatever you want to call them. And it's like, man, that sucks. But in the community, you'll get messages in the Discord and on Twitter, and they're like, "Episode? Where's the episode at?" Like, and so it's just kind of crazy to think that we put these episodes up and people are actually like, this is part of their routine now. That's just blows my mind. But where I was going with that is we have a lot of fun with this, right? Like even those stupid bloopers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's all because we're having fun. We don't take this that seriously, right? Like in the sense of, we've got to be very scripted. We have to, that kind of thing. We're all having fun. So
we would be screwed.
Yeah. We wouldn't make it if we had to.
The less scripted, the better.
Yeah. Right.
I would say as far as goals, I echo what Dan said for next year. I would like to see us get into some more video content because we're getting to the point where we've had a lot of fun with this. It's been relatively successful, but we want to see where we can take that next step to keep providing value and provide new value that we haven't yet. So I do echo what Dan said. I'd like to see more videos. I think we should do some kind of, and I'm sorry, Dan, no pressure, but I think we should do some kind of like behind the scenes kind of thing, kind of blooper-ish behind the scenes. I think that'd be a cool video to throw out there too. But yeah, would love to get more stuff on YouTube, both technical, maybe non-technical, I don't know, but definitely that technical content, get that straight to YouTube. I think that's a 2022 goal.
Okay. Yeah. Just add it on the plate.
Yeah, just load it up.
Load it up. It's like
Well,
Dan's not on.
I am happy to share that early next year, after the new year, we are going to be releasing a mini series that will include Brittany, our resident network engineer recruiter, and we're going to have these short videos where we just talk about something, professional, right? Like your LinkedIn profile, building your resume, keeping your resume up to date. And then lots of other topics like that. It's going to be a really fun series. We're going to want to get more questions and suggestions from you, our listeners, and that will exclusively be on our YouTube channel. We're not going to release that in the podcast stream, so you can look forward to that. We hope to drop those shortly after the new year, and I think we're going to try to do like a bi-weekly release on those as well.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of value there, right? Just short videos to kind of help with how to boost your career, and like if you're looking for a job and that kind of thing. I'm gonna have to like listen to those because my LinkedIn sucks.
Well, maybe we'll have you on and she can tell you how to spice it up. and you can update it in real time.
Live?
Yeah, that'll be the series. We just edit all of Dan's profiles.
Yeah. It's like, look at this hot garbage, and we're gonna try to make it better.
I think not to speak for you guys, but I think I'd throw that out there too. Anybody listening, I mean, get in touch if you think there's some areas where we can improve or provide value that we just aren't thinking of. I mean, we're definitely open to suggestions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we get some of the best suggestions from our audience, right? Like, we want to do what you want to hear. If there's a topic we haven't covered yet, or you would love to hear us talk more about, absolutely, shout us out, hit us up on Twitter. You can tweet right at us, slide into our DMs, or you can send us an email at artofnetworkengineering.com or artofnetworkengineering@gmail.com. I don't have the .com emails yet. There's plenty of ways to get in touch with us.
Yeah, and I mean, we're super open. You send us a message, we're gonna reply back, as soon as possible. I've had a lot of people hit me up on the side asking me question here, question there, or just to chit chat, and to me that's cool because like we get to meet more of the community that way, right? Like when you're into the Discord group and there's a bunch of people in the channel or in the chat or whatever. That's one thing. Yeah, you start kind of seeing the names and stuff like that. But then when you start talking to these people on the side and they're like, hey, what's your experience with this? Because like I had a guy message me on Discord asking about Meraki, right? And because I guess, on several of the episodes I've talked about my use cases with Meraki and whatnot. And he just had a question about, something about the Meraki, and no problem. I'll help him with what I knew, that kind of thing. So it's just real cool getting to chat with you guys and that kind of thing. Like we love that kind of stuff. So don't feel like, oh, I don't want to waste their time or something like that. Like we love talking to you guys. So definitely hit us up. If you have any ideas or anything like that, like what AJ was saying, just hit us up.
Absolutely. Well, as always, this has been fun, but our time has come to an end. Guys, any last minute thoughts on our holiday spectacular here?
This is directed at the listeners. You're all doing great. You're all awesome. Keep it up. These last couple years, year and a half, have been tough. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
Right.
Here's to 2022. Let's come out stronger.
It's so weird to say. 2022.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. You put me on the spot, AJ. I wasn't ready for that. And Tim had a really good one, so I'm just gonna say, yeah, what Tim said.
I'd like to say something classy and inspirational, but that's just not our style.
Yeah.
Everything that we've done just continues to elicit this response that we never anticipated from the community, and that helps keep pushing us forward. I would love to say that I want this thing to grow because we want to make money off of it. That's not what we want to do at all. We want to expose what we do to more people so more people can get help, right? Like, it's so much easier to do this journey. It's so much more fun when you have other people surround yourself. So, the call to action for you, our listeners, is to share this podcast with somebody that doesn't listen to it yet. Get the word out there, get them to join the Discord, follow us on Twitter so they can, because that's where we do all of our giveaways, right? So whenever we're going to do a book giveaway or anything like that, we want to make sure that the maximum amount of people can be aware of what's going on. And, hopefully we continue to get some more sponsors and we can get more stuff to continue to give away. If you have stuff, whether it's books you're not using anymore, lab gear, or if you want to buy some digital stuff to help give away to other people, please reach out to us. Because, if you're not using it, and we know plenty of people that could be using it. So we would love to put it into somebody else's hands and help them take the next step of their career. So we just really appreciate everybody for everything that they do. If you want to continue to help us and support us, there's a bunch of different ways you can do that. One way is the Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Art of Net Eng. You can sign up there and hang out with us every time we record. Right now, we're recording 2 times a week. I don't know if we're going to continue to do that for the long haul, but it certainly is nice having a stash of content that we can rely on and not have to record and publish every week. You can go to your favorite podcatcher, hit that bell icon to subscribe and be notified every single time new content drops. Go to our YouTube channel, like videos, comment on those videos. It all helps the numbers there. And then watch the videos. The watch hours is what really helps. Even if you're not watching, just put it on in the background, go back to work, listen to the podcast or YouTube. It really helps. All of that stuff really helps our mojo. It helps our placement out there in the digital world. And, that kind of rankings and systems and all that stuff helps more people see what we're doing and try to get accomplished here. So thank you, everybody, for listening, subscribing, downloading. We hope you've had a wonderful year hanging out with us, and I'm very excited and know that we have a lot of cool stuff in the works. So from all of us here at the Art of Network Engineering, happy holidays. Hey everyone, this is AJ. If you like what you heard today, then make sure you subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcatcher. Smash that bell icon to get notified of all of our future episodes. Also, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We are at Art of Net Eng. That's Art of NETENG. You can also find us on the web at artofnetworkengineering.com, where we post all of our show notes. You can read blog articles from the co-hosts and guests, and also a lot more news and info from the networking world. Thanks for listening.